I want to offer you something that I have never done before. Access to a new perspective on many things. Due to the nature of this content, due to how it can reshape much of what you thought to believe was right, I have to put layers on it. This is why we have been very strict in terms of where people have access. And it's not because we're gatekeeping. This is information that has been passed down for thousands of years. It is information that has been discovered in the nature around us that can be scientifically proven, explained, and repeated. And that is tied into metaphysical principles, energetic principles, laws of the universe, and a lot more than we really care to consider in our normal daily lives. So, with that, this is a small taste of what can be found inside the Legacy Library. This is but one small page of a book in a shelf of a whole department, in a whole category. We have much more than this. But tread lightly. Go where you need to go. If it makes sense, it makes sense. If not, it doesn't have to. This is going to go through things that's going to give you questions. So do not take this information as the truth. Ask critical questions. Ask yourself, why is it so, if it is not explained properly? And I wish you a very good journey. Don't feel like you have to learn it all, by the way. Take the principles, apply it to life, and see how simple, how paradoxically non-complicated it could be for your own well-being, for your own evolution, and for everything that comes in the future of generations.
Four doubled is 8. 8 doubled is 16. Okay, but we're still at that 7 that we got there by halving, 0.25. But this time we just go 1 plus 6 equals 7. 16 doubled is 32. You can never leave the track of infinity. Okay? 3 plus 2 is 5. 32 doubled is 64. Oops, 64, which equals 10, which equals 1. And you're back to where you began. You've gone one complete cycle of infinity. Okay? That's why the I Ching is 64. Not because 8 times 8 is 64, but because it's one complete cycle of infinity. The secret of this whole thing is the axis, the number 9. It's the most important part. Only number 9 lines up with over 0, right there, which is where the 0 is, the hole, the vortex that must exist. Number 9 is the only number that never changes. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90, because multiples of 9, 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, always reduce back to 9. I'm just going to go to the 3, I'm going to go to the 6, I'm going to go to the 9. Now David knows that I've been doing the binary code. But the binary code does not exist. It's a pretty big claim. The minimum amount of parts of anything is 3. Okay? The binary code is revealing that everything is based, that it's really thirds. In fact, if you look at the symbol, it's all triangulated. So let's take the binary code, look at it as my discrete number pattern. Instead of going 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, I'll go 1, 2, 4, 8, but I'll make 16 a 7, I'll make 32 a 5, and I'm back to 64, which is times 1. I'm just going to look. We know when we have a circle that a 120 degree and a 240 degree is triangulated. So I'm not going to call this a 240 and 120 degree, I'm going to call it a 3 and a 6. It's the same thing, triangulation. And that's all I'm looking at to prove that everything's based on thirds, not twos. So again, I'm looking at not the 120, but I'm going 1 plus 2 plus 0 equals 3, and I'm going 2 plus 4 plus 0 equals 6. I'm looking at the single digit and keeping it simple. And that is enough information for me to understand the geometry of it, the ratio and the proportion. And looking at the binary code, 1 and 2 is 3, 2 and 4 is 6, 4 and 8 is 12 is 3, 8 and 7 is 15 is 6, 7 and 5 is 12 is 3, 5 and 1 is 6. The binary code is curving and warping around something invisible. There's an invisible spindle, and it is right here. And this has caused people so much trouble in mathematics. 3, 9, 6 are in a different dimension and move in a different way and have a whole different reality than the 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. And you never get a 3, 9, 6 from the 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. The binary code, the 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5, is triangulated. 3 and 6 end up in the middle of nowhere. 3 doubled is 6, that's the 3, the yang is the 6, yin and yang. 3 doubled is 6, 6 doubled is 12, 1 and 2 is 3, 12 doubled is 24, 6, 24 doubled is 48 equals 12 is 3, 48 doubled is 96 equals 15, 6. 3 and 6 are a duality that are always oscillating and dance one or the other. But the 9 is invisible. It's always there, it's the third part, and it's actually the control. Because when 9's positive, 3 and 6 are both negative. When 9's negative, 3 and 6 are both positive, and I haven't added the feature of polarity to this yet. The third part of the yin and yang is the boundary condition. Looks like an S-curve. And what this math does, what our decimal system does, is too much to go into next, which is harmonic shears. The grain of everything, the underpinning geometry of the universe. Understanding what we already have had and what we've already known, you could figure out every secret in the universe.